everybody. So I'm having quite a few visuals here to entertain you and to educate you about Web3. And my key message up front is please adopt Web3 technology and also, more importantly, adopt Web3 thinking. What I mean by that is Web3 is a term that was coined by Dr. Gavin Wood, the author of the yellow paper of the Ethereum network, so that was the first implementation. And he thought of the Web3 as a place where there is truth and you don't have to trust, because you can prove based on blockchain technology what the reality is, what is happening. And out of that came that the ownership of assets should be truly with the users, so that they have control of their assets and control of their data, giving back control to the user. Imagine your customer, a travel passenger. The typical problem everyone freaks out about in traveling. It's hugely emotional when your flight is canceled or if there are delays. Why is that? Because the travel customer, he trusts even his life to the carrier. He trusts his itinerary to you as a service provider. And it's out of his control. And he's afraid that something can go wrong. And with blockchain technology, imagine you could prove that it's not your fault that there is a delay. You can prove that you did your best to fix the situation and give him a great journey. Imagine you're that carrier that can prove and not just build trust by a brand, but really prove. Now a bit about myself. I've been a bank auditor by training. I was 10 years into private equity when I bumped into Ethereum. That was the marriage between the internet and the financial world. And it was programmable too. So that really put me down the rabbit hole. I rang the doorbell at the Ethereum Foundation and offered my services and served on the advisory board of the Ethereum Foundation. Later, I joined the Web3 Foundation as well, working alongside Gavin Wood. I was the CFO of Near Foundation. I'm a founder of Cleverkin, which is a crypto accounting company. And currently, I'm the CFO of Wallet Connect. But most importantly for today, as Tommy has announced, I'm joining you, the Camino Network. And I'm super excited about it, and I will tell you now why. Now, as a crypto CFO, people always want to do price talk with me. And I got to reiterate, this presentation is for educational purposes and for entertainment purposes. So we're looking at the Bitcoin price. And what I'd like to illustrate here is like the fine border between Ponzi and true adoption. And if you got engaged with Bitcoin and bought yourself to the top at $30 and then it bumped, definitely a Ponzi. $250, same game. $1,000, a Ponzi. 18,000, crash, never coming back. 65,000, and if you look at the full picture, that's how digital adoption looks like. It's not a smooth journey up. It comes in boosts and with frustrations. But over the long term, you can see that adoption is happening. However, Camino is not Bitcoin. It is a technology way far more advanced. Bitcoin was just the first blockchain, the first example. It still is around, it works, but Camino is faster, it's greener, it's based on proof of stake, and it is programmable, and it's best tech that's out there. So it can compete with other chains that are sort of the third generations of blockchains. Now, what are tokens? Tokens are just an interface between the human being and the smart contract. It's pretty simple. Fungible tokens, there can be many of the same thing, and non-fungible tokens, there's just one token for one thing. And that's a concept human beings can understand, similar as money. It's quite abstract, but that's what it is. Just an interface. And now that prepares for asset creation. Assets on chain, and assets on chain prepares for value creation. What I mean by that, by having a token, having an asset, you can transact with it, you can attach governance to it, you can do something with it which unlocks value. And what the value is eventually getting from A to B in travel. Getting from A to B in travel safely. Getting from A to B in travel, knowing that everything has been taken the care of for yourself, and you can really have a look at it and understand that you're in control. Now this is the figure I, so the square root of -1. And what I would like to illustrate with that figure is this is how the digital realm functions, and you don't need to always understand everything from A to Z. The mathematical figure, square root of -1, nobody can imagine that, because if you square up 1, that's understandable, that's 1. And if you square up -1, that's 1 too. But what if you take the square root of it? And nevertheless, it's a very important tool in mathematics. Not understood, but you can introduce a figure I and solve mathematical problems that builds airplanes, that builds rockets, that builds nuclear power plants. And similarly, you can translate problems from the real world into the digital world, coin it up, solve it in the digital space, and make reality from it. Now, the reason why I'm super excited about Camino Network, I've never seen a single industry team up like this in such a successful way. The banks tried it, insurance companies tried it, they failed. They were too early, the tech wasn't ready yet. And also, these were industries that were overly regulated. Now, with the travel space, you are used to coordinate globally. I'm looking at the crowd that is very much interested in the Web3 space. Experts teaming up, and once you solve it for the travel space, it's easy to onboard additional industries, payment agents, logistics. Once you solved it in this niche, it will be a success. And so I'm very much excited to see it, because I don't see it on other single blockchains that certain problems are taken on with such a focus. Now, HODLing, that was a term coined in the Bitcoin realm. Then BUIDL, that's Ethereum. And TRAVLE, that will be the travel industry. Now, the HODL term came from a drunk rage post who said, "I'm not going to sell my Bitcoins, I will HODL." And he had this typo. And so this became the credo amongst the Bitcoiners, HODL, HODL, HODL. And by that, obviously, if you reduce the supply and you still have demand, prices go up. In 2018, that was like right after the ICO craze, when there was a crypto bear market, the Ethereum folks coined BUIDL. We are here to BUIDL. We are not here for the price action, but to build. Now, for the travel industry, I hope that you will travel. And every time you hear travel out there, phonetically it's the same. Think about Web3. Please adopt the thinking of Web3.